Welcome back to the Catnip Podcast. My name is Grace, and today is Monday, August 2nd. Happy August, everyone. This is a podcast about knitting, books, baking, and cats, but most importantly knitting, because that is what I love to do all day, every day. And we have things to discuss, everyone. We have things to discuss. And there's a storm coming in, I think, and everything is happy. I have a wonderful cup of coffee. I've been very productive with my to-do list. And let me tell you about the social medias that I have, because that is also important. And we need to actually say the regular things that we normally say each episode before actually chatting. I'm just really excited to chat with you because I love chatting with you. I have various social medias. I have Facebook, Twitter, Ravelry, Instagram, and Ravelry. I'm most active on Instagram, so please go follow me over on there if you are interested in checking out what I get up to during the week. There will be show notes. Links to things that I will be talking about will be in the show notes. So if you are on YouTube, the link to my blog will be down below, or if you're on my blog already, everything is already there. I also work at a yarn shop. It is called Pearly Girls in Spring, Texas. It is just outside of Old Town Spring, and I will link all the various social medias, websites, all that jazz. If you'd like to come say hello, if you're local or visiting, we'd love to see you. Yes, like I said, I do have things to discuss. We have lots of things to discuss. And yes, let's just get into it and have a very knitty and yarny discussion. So if you'd like to grab something tasty to drink, something to snack upon, something to craft upon, an animal to snuggle, laundry to fold, maybe you're making dinner or a meal for yourself, maybe you're on your lunch break, maybe you are just relaxing, I don't know what, you could be baking. I haven't talked about baking in a long time, but I have baked. I haven't mentioned it on here. Anyway, if you like to do any of those things or all those things, we are all over the place today, and you can come back and join me for some crafty chat. So, everyone, first of all, if you have seen the past several episodes, you will know that I have been working on a secret thing that has been really wonderful, just truly an incredible experience. I am very honored to have been a part of it. And that project is now done, and I still cannot show it to you because it is still secret and very exciting, and I cannot wait to show it to you when that time comes, but now it is done, and I have been knitting on all the things. Granted, I feel like I still haven't gotten a ton done, but that's okay. You know, it is what it is. But you know, we're just moving on. Onwards and upwards. Is that the saying? With the knitting and test knitting, and we have things to discuss. Also, the Olympics are happening. I hope you are enjoying watching your favorite Olympic sport. We have been watching all the things, staying up late and watching all the things, even though the time difference does make things very complicated. It's all okay in the end. It's one of those things that it's like, I will be spoiled. It's fine. It's just gonna happen because of when it's aired or when it's live and when we see it here in the United States. And it's like, you're gonna see what happens, and then you can have the joy of watching it later and also still kind of be stressed out even though you know what happens. That would be me. So we have enjoyed that greatly, so much. I love watching the Olympics, and consequently lots of knitting has happened. So that is also a thing. I'm trying to think if there's anything else we want to discuss before I get into the knitting. Like I said, there's a storm coming. That's exciting. a cold front came through today and it's only 87 opposed to 97 with 100% humidity, so does it really feel like 87? No. But it's like a cold front, you know. I think August is a good month. There's not a month that is better than other months, let's just say. That's a very Nine thing to say. We're all winners, you know, there's no bad months. In my opinion, August is one of the trickiest months because I really want to get into that mindset of like fall and autumn and just like Halloween and then Thanksgiving and obviously Christmas, and that's really jumping the gun. But like once August hits, it's like, I know it's coming. It is almost here. I can see the light at the end of the tunnel. Fall is coming. And even though it's still incredibly hot here in August and September and even a little bit into October, like it's just those vibes. It's more like socially acceptable a little bit. I don't know. I mean, you do you, whatever makes you happiest and whatever brings you joy. So if that means bringing pumpkin decor into your home August 1st, no shame at all. I have not done that only because I have been busy and it is August 2nd. And I was discussing with a friend literally just this morning about Christmas music and listening to Christmas music. Do not shame me. Do not. You know, there is a time and a place, and that is not during Christmas time or the holidays, or even whether it's before Thanksgiving or after Thanksgiving or before Halloween or after Halloween. I don't know. It's different for everybody. It is 100% personal preference. But Christmas music is one of those things that brings me so much joy. The holiday music genre in general is just so good. And so that was a discussion that I had with a friend this morning about listening to Christmas music already. So, no shame. Anyway, my point being is that it's hot, but it is August. And so I'm like, I just want it to be fall. It is so close. Officially fall, even when it will be September, it will still be incredibly hot and it will not feel like fall. But it's just something about like mentally knowing that it's coming, the cold is coming, the cooler temperatures are coming. And I have all my knitwear and I am so excited to wear all my knitwear as much as I possibly can, and my like long sleeve shirts and other sweaters that I have that are like right here. And hats. I really just want to wear hats. You know, knit hats with pom-poms, and now is not the time. It is August 2nd, and though August is a good month, we're not saying it's a bad month, because there's not a bad month out of all 12 of them. Although I'm very partial to February in my opinion, because that's when my birthday is. But yes, it is a bit of a challenge. We have to wait till fall and autumn come. We have to wait for the cooler temperatures, and it is very impatient, basically. The main point of this whole rant and ramble is that I am impatient for the fall and cooler weather. I'm very impatient. And I'm not ashamed, you know. I feel like I'm probably not the only one. I just really wanted to be here. I am tired of the heat. And it has been enough. I've had enough. No more. It's been very hot, and I am done. Granted, I know it has been hotter other places, and I know that we are blessed with AC, and that is very wonderful, but it is also very hot, and I'm very tired of it. Anyway, we have just gone off on a rant. I do apologize. Let's talk about some knitting, shall we? So, first off, I have made quite a bit of progress on this one test knit that I am doing. We are talking mainly about test knits today, except for one project that is not a test knit. So, recap. What are we recapping? So, if you are unaware, if you do not follow Pearly Girls on Instagram or Facebook or are subscribed to their newsletter, or if you have not seen my 2 past episodes, then you may not be familiar with the fact that Pearly Girls are hosting the Pearly Girls Summer Games during the duration of the Olympics. And what that means is that you pick your project, you pick something within that project that challenges you, whether it be something that you have never done before, or something you are not good at, or something that you just want to try. Could be any of those things, and you fill out a little card, and you finish your project and your challenge within the time period, and then you get entered to win a prize. And so I picked out my projects, plural being projects, being key here, and I picked out my challenge, I figured it out, and my plan was not necessarily to cast anything on, because I did have so many test knits going on that I did not feel like casting anything on would bring me joy. In fact, it might make me more stressed out. So we avoided that, and I am working because the Olympics are still happening. I am currently working on finishing as many things as I can. And it is unfortunate that the first thing that I finished I cannot show you, but that is done. And so I did finish that, and that is very exciting. So I'm continuing these other test knits. I still have till Sunday, I think it's till Sunday. But if you, I think technically you have until the 10th if you're participating in the Pearly Girls Summer Games, because we're not open Sunday or Monday. We're open Tuesday, and that's when you can turn things in if you come in person, or if you want to post things online, that is also acceptable. So I finished a thing. I'm continuing to make progress. And my challenge was to knit 2 sleeves at a time. And I definitely discussed it last week and the week before of how I have never knit 2 sleeves at a time, and I just was really excited because it would be a huge time saver, and it would just be a huge, just like so amazingness thing. So grammatically correct, you know. So good. And I did try it, and I knit about half of my sleeves, and I decided that it was not for me. I was so irritated. I was so frustrated, and I know I was doing it correctly because my sleeves look like sleeves. It's not like they look like wonky sleeves. I know I was doing it right. And I was just not having it, and I was not having a good time. I did try. I knit half of my sleeves. Let me show you. And I did take a picture when I set it up. So I knit from like maybe here. This one's done because I did pick up and like continue on, but so yeah, I think I would like knit to here on both of them, and then I couldn't take it anymore, and I put it on some circular needles because that is what I love. That is where my heart belongs to when it comes to knitting small circumferences. I did try. I may try again in the future, but knitting 2 sleeves at a time was not for me. It wasn't fun. Again, this is 110% personal preference. I know some people who swear by knitting 2 sleeves at a time. Some people swear by magic loop. Some people swear by DBNs. I would swear by small 12-inch circular needles, or however small you can get, whether that be 16, 12, I don't know. Like, that is my personal preference. And it's different for everyone. Everyone has their preference. And it's all okay. Just as long as you get the thing knit, like, it really, in the end, doesn't matter how you do it. It's just, if you are having a good time, if you are not frustrated enough that you are willing to throw it across the room, that's not good. And that should be avoided. So whatever works for you is really all that matters. And that is the story of my challenge. And it's not a fail. You know, I learned things. I learned how to do it. I know how to do it. I did it for a while. And it's just not my favorite. But no one can say that I didn't try, because I did try and knit half of 2 sleeves. Trying. It was just not for me. So that is my story. That is my saga of knitting 2 sleeves at a time. We have tried and we have accomplished the purpose of seeing if it was for me, and it is not, and therefore we will move on knitting sleeves one at a time, and I will be perfectly happy doing that. So now that we've had another rant and rave about knitting sleeves, let me tell you what I was actually working on. And you may recognize this. This is ECR in Alpaca 2, and obviously this is maroon, and we love a good maroon. And I am using this to knit Wild Poppy. It's either that or Wild Joy. And this is the problem. I have 2 test knits going on. One is Wild Poppy, one is Wild Joy. I was really good about keeping them not mixed up, and for some reason I just have mixed them up completely and I cannot remember. I'm pretty sure this is Wild Poppy though. So I have completed the yoke. I have divided for sleeves. It's a great looking sweater, don't we all think so? It's just so good. No, I still have the body to knit. It's not done. But I have obviously completed 1 sleeve, and I am on my way to completing the next sleeve, and then I will just be straight knitting the body, and then I will be done. So I have every intention of finishing it by Wednesday, maybe? Fingers crossed? I don't know. We will see. But it's knit on big needles, so it goes very quickly, which is very nice. It has been very convenient and very instant gratification, which is nice. We all love those projects. I obviously have done the maroon with a very light pink. I know it's showing up kind of whitish on the camera, but it is a very, very light pink, and that is from Suburban Stitcher. So we have some color work. We do have some lace thrown in there. I don't know if you can see, but there are these little eyelet sections. And yes, this was marking my progress last time I showed this to you, I think. Maybe. I honestly don't remember, but that's okay. Yeah, I think that was. And this is from Little Bitty Delights. This is my little cinnamon roll. Because we all love a good cinnamon roll, you know? From Little Bitty Delights. And yeah, I'm just plugging along. This is, like I said, this is Wild Poppy, I believe, for Tiff of Tiff Nealon Designs. And I am just really, really loving it so far. I'm getting a ton of text messages. Okay. Sorry, my phone was just buzzing. And I was going to be distracted, so I can edit this however I want, so really it doesn't matter if I stop and take breaks. Anyway, so yes, I am really loving how this has turned out. I love the look of these sleeves. It's just so beautiful. You do have like an extreme decrease in this general area before you continue on, so it creates this very nice, like, not quite a balloon sleeve, but it's close. And yeah, so it's gonna be cropped, not this cropped, ha ha ha, it's so funny. Yeah, what was I saying? It's not gonna be this cropped. Obviously, I have a very good amount of way to go, and I have knit maybe 1.5 inches, a little bit more than 1 inch since separating for the sleeves, but because I wanted to do the 2 at a time sleeves and like actually try, because I did want to try. It's not like I would not try, because I am very stuck in my circular needle ways for sleeves. I did try, and it's just not for me, and that's okay. But that's why I knit the sleeves first, because I wanted to do that, and I didn't think I would have the time to get everything or get the body done, and then have enough time to like actually give a legitimate shot at trying. So that is good. That is very good. We have made good progress. Hopefully this will be done this week. Very exciting. Moving along, moving along. Happy days, happy days. Next up, in regards to, this is not a test knit, but we're on Sleeve City, you know. I did start my Wool and Honey sleeve, and I am almost done with my Wool and Honey sleeve, everyone. I have a couple of inches left in my ribbing, and it is all tangled up in this yarn that is now snagging on my ring, and we have it. Oh, goodness gracious. Problems of a knitter, you know. This is an Impix palette in the Pumice Heather colorway. We are almost done, everyone. This sweater has been a long time in coming, but we are gonna get there. So, I have my sleeve. It looks like a very dinky sleeve, very small sleeve, but I promise that it is a good sleeve. It looks very wonky, but it is a good sleeve. So yes, this is my Wool and Honey sweater by Andrea Mowry. I have wanted to have one of these for forever. I've had yarn for this for forever. I don't remember when I cast this on. This is 100% a languishing whip. I don't remember when I cast it on, but I know that it's been more than 6 months, which for me, that makes it a languishing whip. We had a little get together with some of Sam's friends. We went to an outdoor patio bar thing because Sam's birthday was last week, and so we celebrated over the weekend, and I brought my knitting, and I knit almost the entire sleeve, which I know doesn't look like a lot, but like it's still a decent amount. Like that's still a lot of knitting, and I was really hoping to get the ribbing done as well, but that was not to be. How many inches do we have? Because we are using our knuckle. Is this common knowledge? This is a discussion at Pearly Girls last week. Did you know that your knuckle from this joint to this joint is roughly 1 inch? And I know you may not believe me, and I would encourage you to find a tape measure right this moment. You can pause this video and go measure your knuckle, and it's very close. It's not exactly, but it's very close. And so I've always used my knuckle for measuring things if I do not have a tape measure nearby. or my wrist ruler, which I usually wear. So I have about an inch, almost 2 inches. I've got an 1 3/4 out of 5 inches, or maybe 5.5, I don't remember. But so the ribbing is quite long. So the sleeve will not be this length in the end. Like I said, this is a very dinky looking sleeve, but and now I'm holding the sweater upside down, so that's helpful. We are so close, and if I play my cards right, if I schedule out my time, I am positive I could whip this out before Sunday or Tuesday, really, but before Sunday. So for finishing purposes, you know. Wool and Honey by Andrea Mowry. It will be done soon. It will be done before the end of August. Let's just say that. I realize that that is a very wide span of time, seeing as it is only August 2nd. It's definitely getting done before the end of August. I will tell you that, for sure. For sure. It's giving me just a wide deadline. So if I don't, for whatever reason, meet it, then it will be fine. Or if I don't get it done by next week, is what I'm saying. Giving myself wide boundaries. You know, it's all okay. It's all good. Next up, this is Wild Joy, I am pretty sure. And this is another test knit. This is a colorwork yoked sweater. I don't know, that sounded weird in my head. For Samantha Gurin. And this is, everyone, this is my big ball of yarn that has once upon a time been much bigger. And this will be my second sweater that I will have gotten out of this big ball of yarn, and I'm pretty sure I can probably get a third. So it's so good, and it's very soft, and it was only $10, and it was just really, really such a wonderful purchase. So this is currently on a Scooby because I think I mentioned this last week, my needles were being switched back and forth between the Wild Joy and Wild Poppy, because they're both, I'm using the same needle for both of them, and so that is why this one is on a Scooby. But I did, look how far I got, everyone. Can we even? Oh, it looks so good. I love my color palette so much. It looks really nice on camera. So I have this light gray as my main color. I have a dark gray that's here that I'm not sure what it is. I'm pretty sure this light pink that is here and here is a Malabrigo of some sort. And then my maroon, surprise, surprise, we have added maroon into another project. It's not a bad thing, it's a wonderful color. I like it, I like wearing it. This maroon is a Brooklyn Tweed Loft Held Double. And I have just loved working on this project. And here are my floats, because we all love to see good floats. Show me your floats. Ta-da. Yes, it is just really, really good. I love colorwork sweaters for a lot of different reasons. They're fun, they look really cool, it's just, it can be a good learning experience. It's a fun way to play with color. But what I was about to say is that I feel like colorwork sweaters, especially certain colorwork sweaters, like this one is very good, but I feel like this could be applied to a lot of colorwork sweaters. And like the other one that I'm doing, this one, is that if you don't want to spend a ton on knitting a colorwork sweater, you don't have to buy new colors for every little bit of it, because especially with this one, you don't use a ton of yardage with your contrasting colors, so it seems almost silly sometimes to buy a full skein when you're only going to be using 20 yards. Or it's not that exactly for this sweater, but you get the idea. So that's when stash busting comes in, and so it's really nice when you just have to get the main color, whatever that may be, and then you can make your stash work, whether your whole thing's double, you use I don't know, you play around with your gauge a little bit to make sure everything works together, and then you can just use your stash, and then you can use up your stash, and then potentially still have a little left over for other stash busting and scrappy projects. And that's what I've done here, and I'm very happy with it. I am very, very happy with it indeed. And so I think that's really fun, and I feel like it adds another level of creativity when I look at colorwork sweaters and I'm like, I could just get the main color somewhere, and then I will have fun picking out a contrasting color for my stash, whether that be one color, 5 colors, or 3 colors, I don't even know. The options are endless, and it's just a good way to use up your stash, and it's really fun. And I would highly recommend you trying it if you have not tried that before. Definitely try it, because it's super fun. Did I mention it was super fun? Because it's super fun. Anyway, I've made good progress. We will see where I get to by the next week's episode. I'd like to at least get to the division of sleeves, if not past that. We will see. We will see. But yes, I've made good progress. I am very proud of this. And it's super fun. It's very intuitive. Obviously, I really like that these, like, the way this is, you have obviously your little motifs, and once you're done you're with, what am I trying to say? Once you're done with like one row of motifs, then you're ready to move on to another one. And I think it's easier for me, opposed to like a really big colorwork thing that like spans down your whole sleeve or until you divide for the sleeves or whatever. Though that's super fun, it's a little bit easier to like divide up your progress and like wrap your head around almost these little things where you have like section by section and you're like, okay, well, I'm done with these little Y things. Now I'm going to move on to whatever these little guys are. Little flags. Little butterflies. They're not butterflies, but they look like butterflies. And then we have these little arrows, and like we've got these lines up here. And to me, that's just like good markers of my progress. It also is helpful because then it like spurs me on, and it's like, okay, I've only got 6 rows in this one motif. I can knock that out easy peasy, no worries. And then before I know it, I've finished 2 or 3 motifs. And it's really great. It's I don't think that row count applies necessarily to every motif, if any of the motifs, but again, you get the idea. It's just, it makes it more potato chippy, and I really like that. So it's a good way to accomplish color work knitting. It's not in every single pattern, obviously, because then you have these beautiful, just stunning color work pieces that are full, all meshed together. Does that make any sense? I'm trying to think if I have things nearby that like would apply to that. I don't think I do. Well, that is not helpful. I don't even know. That's not great of me. well, I guess, okay, so similar to the wool and honey. Like, you know how the honeycombs, like, are all across and then it continues down on the body a little bit. And regardless of where you cut the motif and color work off, if you have this whole thing that's somehow connected on the entire sweater, opposed to breaking it up into motifs, line by line, or row by row, it's a different experience of knitting. It's a different, I don't even know. It's just different. It's not bad. It's not necessarily better than the other one. It's just a totally different experience, and they both create beautiful and different looking things. And again, just speaks to the beauty and creativity of knitting and crocheting and crafting, is that everything you can make something beautiful, and there are different ways to accomplish that, and it's just so incredible, and it just makes me so happy. I love it so much. So anyway, I don't think I really had a point. I feel like I'm just talking in circles. But anyway, this is my Wild Joy sweater by Samantha Gurr, and I'm test knitting. Loving this so far. Cannot wait to show you what motifs pop up next. I'm actually uncertain. I do not remember. But I'm very excited. So we will see next week. So lastly, I have a project to show you and to discuss, but hasn't actually been started yet. So that is a bit of a problem. But you know what? I mean, we're one step closer to getting started, and I didn't have my yarn last week to show you. So I will be test knitting the Jensen cardigan for Rachel of September Knits. I test knit the Jensen pullover a year ago, 2 years ago, year and a half ago, something like that. I don't know what is time. So I'm super excited to be able to test knit the cardigan version. I need more cardigans. I feel like all I knit are pullovers, and though I do love them very dearly, I love knitting all forms of sweaters. I need to add more cardigans into my life. And so this will be a good staple. And I am gonna be using some New to Me yarn. This is from Hobbii, Hobbii, and I'm gonna put the ball band back on because I had actually taken it off to test it out with my mohair that I'll be using. But I will be using We Love Yarn Mega Ball. Another one that is in fact bigger than my head, and we know it's a good sweater or a good ball of yarn when it is bigger than my head, you know. So that is very exciting. It is 400 grams and it is 1,312 yards. So we are doing real awesome with this. This is the powder blush colorway. And unfortunately it does not say that on here, but I do remember it is powder blush. The color number is 417. It is 100% acrylic, yes indeed, but we love it. It is very soft, and I'm so excited because everyone, I got an amazing deal. And I'm going to add mohair to it. This is the Diablo from Hobbii, and this also is now missing a ball band because I took it off to twist it together with the main stuff. Oh, hello. They're just really excited about me using mohair, you know. So this is the mohair I will be holding double with this pink. I am so excited. This is not the first time I have used Diablo before. I used it in my Felix sweater that I knit earlier this year that I held with Noro, and I am just so in love with it. It's just so amazing. It's not itchy at all. It's very soft, but it feels like mohair at the same time. And I'm so excited to see how this knits up. I think this will be so much fun. And yes, I got all of this for $13. So good deal, very good deal. I'm very excited, and I cannot wait to show it to you guys. So yes, this is, does this have the name on it? No, this is color 42. I think this was something rose. They have so many fun colors, and so yeah, I'm just very excited to be putting, let's see, put the Mega Ball with the mohair. I think it will be very fun. So very excited to get that started soon. So yes, I really need to actually start it and need to look at the pattern and figure out what needles I need. The nice thing about Rachel's test knits, and I really appreciate this about her, is that the way that she plans her test knits, you have a very long time frame. And so you do have quite a bit of time at the very beginning to gather your yarn, which I really appreciate. And so we don't officially have to cast on until a certain date, until that's when we plan to have our yarn. I keep turning this upside down. So I don't have to cast on quite yet, but sometime this week I do need to, which is very exciting. So hopefully, you know what, I would like to finish my Wild Poppy sweater, because I will hopefully finish that by Wednesday at the latest. Maybe when you're watching this, I don't know, if you watch this on Wednesday when this podcast goes up, maybe it'll be done. Wouldn't that be nice? And so I can get that done and then cast this on, because I don't know what the needles are that I need to use, because depending on what they are, I could just go ahead and cast it on. Oh, excuse me. Oh. I also, because we love stuffing these big behemoth balls of yarn into small bags, I found a very fun tote that was in my knitting bag stash that I had completely forgot about, and so we are bringing this out because it is just so funny. We have copy, knit, slip, sleep, slip, sleep, repeat. And I don't remember where I got this. I don't know how long I've had it. And yeah, there's a sticker, but it is no help. It is literally just a barcode. So we love this. This is my vibe. Vibes for days. Yeah, I am just super excited, and I think this cardigan will also be those vibes. I think I can do these things with the cardigan on, so it's just very fitting. Also, we're getting into fall vibes, of course. Again, comes full circle. We go back to the rant about the weather and fall. I really feel connected with the Gilmore Girls, especially during the fall time, and I just want to be in Stars Hollow, and I feel like these kinds of cardigans and stuff are very up Lorelei's alley and Rory's alley, really, everybody's alley. And this bag, because coffee is number one, as it would be in Lorelei's life, you know. Now I really just want to watch Gilmore Girls for the rest of the day. We need fall. We really need it, and I think that is just, it's gonna make me very happy when that does come. So in the meantime, I will knit woolly things that are very heavy, like worsted weight and DK weight, and sweaters that I cannot wear now. And we'll eventually drink a pumpkin spice latte, because that's coming out this month according to Starbucks, and we all love that. That's another vibe. We may or may not listen to a couple Christmas songs here or there. No shame, no shame. And just channeling all the cool weather and fall time vibes. So that is all that I really have for you guys this week. I do apologize if this is a bit of a shorter episode, but again, the secret knit has been completed, so now we are raring to go. Who knows what will be accomplished this week? I don't even know. I won't even make any promises, just so I am, I don't know, free from feeling obligated to work on something more than the other. We're just gonna work on everything and get as much done as we possibly can. And we will not be knitting sleeves two at a time, because we have tried that and it was not my favorite. So we will just continue on our merry way with the little small circumference circular needles and knit sleeves one at a time. And ultimately, yes, it does take longer, but the second sleeve always goes faster, and two, I really, in the end, do not mind, because it's mindless knitting for the most part, unless there's a pattern or something. And I love good mindless knit. I usually can read during that. I can watch my K-dramas and read the subtitles. I can watch the Olympics and watch stressful events and not have to worry about focusing on something too much. It's all good, you know, it's really okay in the end. I love it. I love the way that I knit sweaters. It works for me. But it was a good try to try something new. I learned something new, and that's really all that matters, you know. I mean, I did try, I did learn, and we now know. So that is all that I have for you guys. Again, I do apologize if this is a little bit shorter, but here's to making more progress on anything and everything for next week. I have all the various social medias, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Ravelry. Show notes, yarn store information will be all the various places. If I happen to forget anything, or if you just would like to say hello, please feel free to send me a message. I would love to chat with you or share information that I forgot to include, which may happen, you know, you never know. I hope you had a wonderful week, and you continue to have a wonderful, or weekend, and you continue to have a wonderful week. If you have crafty plans, I hope that they are successful. If you are knitting and maybe have a Pearly Girls challenge while you were watching the Summer Olympics, I hope that you are enjoying that. Good luck to you. Hopefully yours is more successful than mine was. Not that it wasn't successful, it was not a failure. We did try and we succeeded. It's just not my favorite. And I've said that so many times, and I apologize for just ranting about it. I just feel very strongly about it, okay? Like, just have a lot of feelings. So, like I said, we're making progress on all the things, very exciting, moving forward. And there have been some test knits. Everyone I have had such self-control to say no to, because there have been such cute ones out there that I really, really wanted to do, but we've come to that time, and it's been one of those test knitting years where I got a talk from Sam, and he did say that I should probably think about reining it in and maybe taking a break from test knitting, which, if you are a long-time viewer, you will know that this is not the first time this has happened. I don't remember if he did it last year, but he definitely did it the year before, where I was just really overwhelmed and was just test knitting out the wazoo, did not knit on anything of my own personal projects that were not test knits, and he was just like, so I think you're really stressed, and I think it might be a good idea for you to take a break from test knitting. And I was like, you're right. And granted, like, he knows that I will make the right decision for me, but it's also, I appreciate that he can see that this has been just a time of a lot of test knitting, and he knows that I need to take a break. And I appreciate him saying that to me because I do need to hear it, and I'm not gonna necessarily be like, I'm gonna take a break because I think I should when it comes to test knitting. With other things, I'm a little bit better, but with test knitting, it's a little bit harder for me to do that. So that's why I appreciate, one of the many reasons why I love him and why I married him. So after all these test knits are over, I will hopefully be done for the year. I'm pretty sure we will see, but I am pretty positive that unless something small pops up, we're for sure taking at least a small break, if anything, but pretty sure it'll be for the rest of the year. So I will, not stopping test knitting for forever. That is not the case, but I just need to take a break. It's time to take a break and work on other things. And you know, the gift knitting is coming. It is fast approaching. If only you could bring the cooler weather with it. It will eventually, but it's just not going to be like next week or anything like that, unfortunately. Anyway, I'm rambling. I don't even know how we have rambled into talking about other things, but this is the end of the episode. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. Thank you for listening to me ramble and have very passionate rants this week. I was just, had a lot of opinions and thoughts and feelings, and we have shared them. Maybe you have similar feelings to me, and we had a good discussion. Thank you for always coming back and listening to me rant and ramble. It really means a lot to me. Thank you for leaving comments and likes and subscribes, all that jazz. Thank you for being here. You are enough. You are wonderful. Good luck with your knitting. Enjoy watching the rest of the Olympics. So much fun and all that jazz. And I guess with that, I will see you guys next week.